Hello and welcome to the Startup Booster program. Here is Elena Varnavska, an expert in psychology of excellence. So let me introduce the webinar rules to you. First of all, please do not talk on Google Hangout simultaneously with the presenter. Just mute your microphone to avoid any interference. If you have any questions, please use the comment section directly under YouTube video or post your questions and answers on Facebook directly under the current webinar event. Depending upon the topic and timeline of our webinar, we will answer your questions in the appropriate section of the webinar. Please do not write any personal data like links, ads, or obscenity in the comments. Should you violate these webinar rules, we will eject you from Google Hangout. These rules apply to all Startup Booster webinars. Thank you very much for your understanding. Welcome to the second session of the Startup Booster program, and today we will talk about how to choose the right business for you. Before we continue, please let me know if you can hear me well. Please put a plus in the chat or comments field if the sound is really good for you. Great, thank you. I'm getting your feedback that the sound is good, so let's get started. Once again, welcome to the Startup Booster program. My name is Elena Varnavska. I'm an expert in psychology of excellence, and together with my colleague Daria Yegorina, who is an expert on marketing and sales and a professional startupper, we have developed this Startup Booster program. While I'll be presenting at the webinar, Daria will be moderating the session. So she will be moderating the chat, answering your questions, and sometimes we will take turns presenting and moderating the session. So what you will learn in the whole Startup Booster program? First of all, you will learn how to launch your business from scratch, how to market and sell your products and services, and how to build and manage an international company. We will cover both psychological and business aspects just to help you launch a successful business or bring your existing business idea to the next level. Let's communicate, dear friends. Our webinars are very interactive and we really encourage you to communicate with us. Just ask questions, participate in the exercises and discussions. We have designed the program in a very flexible way, and we would like to include the hot questions and challenges you have into the webinar sessions. So those of you who have joined us from the very first sessions will have the so-called unfair advantage of molding the Startup Booster program. It also turned out that not everyone finds it easy to communicate via Q&A session on YouTube and Google Hangout, so we are currently looking for an easy way to communicate with all of you. And for this webinar, just like for the previous webinar, we would like to offer two simple options. So you can either post your comments and questions into the comments field on YouTube, just directly under this video broadcast, or write them on Facebook directly in the Webinar 2 event. Here are the links. Daria has taken care about it and she has posted the links everywhere she could. So if you don't have the links yet, just take a look at them and remember that either you can use the comments field on YouTube or you can post your comments on Facebook directly in the Webinar 2 event. So for this session, you will need a pen, 3 to 5 sheets of white paper to write on, and a good internet connection. We will have an online exercise, so you will need to open a new tab in your internet browser for it. Let's move on. Today we will talk about how to choose the right business for you. And I have a question. So how do you actually choose the right business? Which factors do you consider when making this important choice, this important decision? Just drop us a quick line on Facebook or YouTube. Share your thoughts with us. As YouTube broadcast normally lags a little bit behind, we will wait for your answers. Sometimes it takes YouTube up to 2 minutes. So let's wait a little bit and then Daria will summarize what we've got. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. So I'm giving the word to Daria.
Hi everyone. So we here have lots of different answers, but the most frequent would be money, how much time I need, and how much knowledge I need.
Great, thank you very much. So let's move on. And here are actually the factors I would like you to pay special attention to. Well, apart from your life goals and aspiration to create a very successful business in a particular field, it is really important to consider if this type of business goes well with your personality and values, so that you really enjoy what you do, you know. It is also important to consider the current situation in the market. So whether there is currently a demand for the services and products of this kind, for the services and products you would like to offer. And finally, what resources you need to create this business and how and where you will get them. Okay? So these are really very important factors to consider apart from the factors you have already named. I totally agree with you that money is really important. Now let's move on, and we will start with the personality business environment fit. So I have a question to you. In what kind of environment do you ideally prefer to work? Just drop a line in the comment section or in the chat. So one more time, let me repeat the question. In what kind of environment do you ideally prefer to work? For example, personally, I need a very quiet work environment when getting ready for the project so that I can concentrate. And when I'm done with planning and preparation, I love to socialize with my colleagues and clients and to go out for lunch. Well, I also enjoy creative tasks. And to tell you the truth, it takes me a while to do simple routine tasks. So this is the type of environment I originally prefer. What about you? What kind of environment do you ideally prefer?
Hi, Darius here, so I can summarize the replies we got so far. People prefer team spirit environment. Some people prefer creative environment, and some prefer quiet as well, like you, Lena.
Thank you very much, Daria, and thank you very much for your answers. Well, you see, you already have your preferences for a certain environment, which allows you to be, most productive and efficient. So now I've got one more thing to ask you. Please write a plus in the comments field if you can work productively in any environment. We just would like to calculate how many pluses we've got. So write a plus in the comments field if you can work productively in any environment.
So hi, Darius here. So I'd like to summarize. So people can't work productively in any environment because we have the majority of minuses. So I would assume there should be some specific environment in which you feel comfortable to work productively.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So most of us prefer to work in a specific environment and dislike doing certain tasks, I guess. Like I dislike doing simple routine tasks. And John Holland, an American psychologist, discovered that if there is a good fit between personality type and the characteristics of environment, people flourish in their work environment. Whereas lack of congruence between personality and environment results in dissatisfaction, also lowered performance, and changing business or career path. And according to John Holland, each personality type flourishes in his ideal environment. So there are 6 personality types and 6 corresponding ideal environments. John Holland also developed the self-directed search, which helps people identify their personality type and ideal work environment. So in order to choose the right business, it is really crucial to consider your personality and business environment fit, just to make sure that you love working in the environment typical for your business. Thus, you will avoid switching from one business to another and losing your time if you do a lot of change management, let's say. Now I've got a question to you. How long do you plan to stay in business you have selected for now? So how many years do you plan to stay in this kind of business?
Hi, that is back. So I would like to summarize now. There's lots of different answers here, as people are saying like between 1 and 2 years, some are saying between 5 and 10 years, some are saying 3 years. So it's like various types of answers here.
Okay, thank you. Great. Thank you very much for your answers. So please know that you need at least 3 to 5 years to stay in one business and focus on it for it to establish and flourish. Of course, a lot depends upon the business field you choose, your learning speed, the support you're getting from your team, and the way you organize this business. However, please remember that you need time to become an expert in your business field, and if you switch businesses too often just because certain business environment is not your cup of tea, you might lose your valuable time. As I have mentioned, according to John Holland, there are 6 personality types and 6 corresponding work environments. And for us entrepreneurs, these will be business environments. In this picture, you can see the famous Holland's hexagon. It is a geometrical form which has 6 angles, and here each angle represents one personality or environment type. So we can shortly call this hexagon REASEC, just by the first letters of personality and environment types. Let me go through them: realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. And each type is assumed to flourish in an environment having the same label. For example, realistic types flourish or do well in a realistic environment because this environment provides opportunities, activities, tasks, and roles that are really congruent with the realistic type's competences, interests, and of course, self-beliefs. So let me briefly go through all of them. And let's start with the realistic type. Realistic people are usually assertive and competitive, and they are interested in activities requiring some motor coordination, skill, and strength. People with realistic orientation usually prefer to work a problem through by doing something rather than just talking about it or sitting and thinking about it. They like concrete approaches to problem solving, and they do not like abstract theory. They tend to be interested in scientific or mechanical rather than cultural and aesthetic areas. And they really like to work with things. Let's move on to the next type, which is investigative. So investigative people like to think and observe rather than act. They like to organize and understand information rather than to persuade other people. They tend to prefer individual rather than people-oriented activities, and they enjoy working with data. Now let me tell you a few words about the artistic type. Artistic people are usually very creative, open-minded, inventive. They are original, perceptive, sensitive. They are independent and emotional. They do not like structure and rules. Well, this is clear. They are very creative. They like tasks involving people or physical skills and are more likely to express their emotions than others. Artistic people like to think, organize, and understand artistic and cultural areas. And usually they like to work with ideas and themes. Let's move on to the next type, which is social. Social people seem to satisfy their needs in teaching or helping situations. They are different than realistic and investigative types, well, because they are usually drawn more to seek close relationships with other people, well, and are less apt to want to be really intellectual or physical. They like to work with the people. Let me tell a few words about the enterprising type. So enterprising people are really good talkers, and they use the skill to lead or persuade others. They also value reputation, power, money, and status, and will usually go after it. Enterprising people like to work with people and data. Finally, let me tell you a few words about the conventional type. So conventional people like rules and regulations, and they emphasize self-control. They like structure and order. Well, and they dislike unstructured or unclear work in interpersonal situations. Conventional people place value on reputation, power, status, and they like to work with data. So John Holland developed personality and work environment codes. And each code usually consists of 3 letters showing your personality type, which flourishes in an environment having the same label. It is very crucial to know. So the very same label. And if you know your personality code, you can figure out if the business environment of your startup is a good fit for your personality type. When analyzing your personality business environment fit, please pay special attention to the fact that the types which are opposite to each other in the hexagon model, so like this one, for example, conventional and artistic, have the biggest differences between each other. For example, it would be very difficult for an artistic person to work in a conventional environment, and vice versa. They just need totally different environments. And now, let me show you an example. So let's take a look at the enterprising type of the personality and the corresponding environment type. So when you know your RIASEC personality type and your work environment, well, basically the environment in which you flourish, it is really easy to figure out what kind of business works better for you. So let's take a look at the enterprising personality type and the corresponding environment. The sample occupations in this case will be a lawyer or retail store manager. And I think part of the entrepreneurs would also have a great fit here. The enterprising personality type has certain preferences for activities and occupations. They are as follows: persuading, manipulating, or directing others. The enterprising personality type values are material accomplishment and social status. This type sees self as having sales and persuasive ability, however lacking scientific ability. And other people see this type as energetic and gregarious. An enterprising personality type avoids scientific, intellectual, or abstruse topics. Now let's take a look at the enterprising environmental type. The enterprising personality type flourishes in the enterprising environmental type. This environmental type requires skills in persuasion and manipulation of others, demands and rewards the display of initiative in the pursuit of financial or material accomplishment, also dominance and self-confidence. Values or personal styles allowed expression, acquisitive or power-oriented styles, and responsibility. Occupations or other environments involve selling, leading, manipulating others to attain personal or organizational goals. This was just an example for you. And now let's find out your personality type. Here you can see the link which we will use for this exercise. This is an online exercise. It's a quiz. Daria has taken care of sharing the link with you via Facebook, YouTube, and Google Hangout. If you haven't got the link, just type it in. I will keep it on the screen just like this for a few seconds. This is a free source. I hope that all of you have already typed the link in or just clicked on it. And then you will see this screen. This is the source, the Holland Code quiz from the university in America. They just shortened Holland's questionnaire. So you will be able to go through the whole quiz within 5 minutes. Here, each question is an opportunity for you to describe the kinds of things you as a person can do, might like to do, or the action that most fits you. And when you have selected all of the choices that describe you, please click Submit to get your Holland code and determine what career path works best for you. In the end of the quiz, you will see the button Submit Answers and Get Your Holland Code. That's the right button to click on. As a result, you will get a 3-letter code which describes your personality and a matching work environment. The first letter usually has the strongest value, then the second letter, and the third one. Thus, you can figure out the business direction which works best for you. I have already done the test on my own, so it usually takes about 5 minutes to complete the quiz. Please take only the things which work for you, and let's get started. So 2 more minutes for you. Let's round up with the exercise. I hope you've got your results by now. So you should get a 3-letter Hollands code, which describes your personality and a matching work environment. And I've got a question. Who would like to share his RSA code with us? So what did you get? Just drop us a line in the comments field. No pressure, just do it if you would like to share your RSA code with us. We don't know you personally anyway.
Hi, Darius here. I don't see anybody sharing the code for the moment.
I totally understand it. Thank you very much. If anyone drops the code later on, then it would be nice if you could just tell us a little bit about it. However, I pretty much understand because this is confidential information, or maybe the people are not done yet. We know that YouTube lags a little bit behind, sometimes up to 2 minutes. Maybe we will have some answers later on so we can catch up with you. Let me proceed. Apart from knowing your personality type and in what kind of business environment you really feel great and are very productive, it is crucial to know your values and whether your business is congruent with them. Values usually include your attitudes and beliefs. Usually your values were formed in early life and under the influence of your parents and environment. And at the age of 30, a person usually has a stable set of values which are not likely to change unless a person undergoes some life-changing events or deep psychological counseling or therapy. So it is really essential that your business is congruent with your values. For example, if you love animals and care about animal protection, you are not likely to succeed in a luxury fur business because it would be against your values. That's it. And even if your uncle gave you the money and his connections and everything, this kind of business would not work out for you. As I mentioned before, it is really easier to change or adjust the kind of business than your values. So now let's get down to the next exercise and explore your values. I'll ask you some questions. Please take a sheet of paper and write down your answers. You will have about 1 minute for each question. So let's get started. What is your motto? Please write down your motto. I hope you have come up with your motto. And now let's move on to the next question. What is your favorite virtue? So what is your favorite virtue? Please write it down. The next question is, what are your favorite qualities in a person? Please focus on the 3 favorite qualities in a person, as we have about 1 minute for each question. Let's move on. So what is your idea of happiness? It would be nice if you could formulate your idea of happiness in one sentence. The next question is, what would make you cry at your 70th birthday? And by crying, I mean, in a very positive sense, not because of some sort of negativity. So just something positive that would make you cry at your 70th birthday. Think about it and write it down. So let's move on to the next question. What kind of business would be congruent with your values? Oh, that's a tricky one. Just think about it and write it down. What kind of business would be congruent with your values? And the last question is, what motivates you in business? So let's round up with this exercise. I hope it really helped you to explore your values. And now when you have written everything down, you can take a look at your values, at your answers to these questions, and then you will have a deeper understanding of your values. Thank you very much for your participation, for your answers. And now let me give the word to Daria. She will upload her slides and I will be moderating the session. Daria has also prepared some exercises for you. You will really enjoy them.
So hi, I'm here, and give me a second. I just need to upload the slides.
Exactly. Now we can see the slides one more time. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. So can you please put the plus into the chat where you are in the YouTube or on the Facebook if you hear me well?
Yes, I can see a couple of pluses here, so the people can hear you well. Me too. So let's proceed.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Now we're gonna do a quick exercise, which is more practical side and practically oriented. This exercise has something to do with choosing your idea and what we're gonna do and what you're gonna have at the end of this particular session. You're gonna have the right idea for you to go and start the business. And plus, on top of that, we're gonna do a couple of checkups if the idea is gonna really work. So I would like you to get ready with the pen or a pencil, whatever suits you better to write, and get a piece of paper, and we're gonna start. First of all, I give you 1 minute to write down the 10 things that you can do well. And I don't care at this point of time if you like them or you don't like them. So just write down 10 things that you can do really, really well. So you are writing right now 10 things you can do well. Be quick, your time is almost up. And the best thing here is to write down whatever comes first to your mind. So think quickly and write quickly down. So now you have a short list of 10 things that you can do really, really well. And what I would like you to do is to select out of these 10 things, just 6 things that you like to do. And you think you can do them that well that you almost enjoy doing them and you're proud of doing. So things you like to do and things you're proud of. And you have 1 minute again. Hope you cope with that, because the only thing you need to do is to go again through the list of 10 things you can do really well and select those that you enjoy and then you like to do and you're proud of yourself because you can do them. Now we move to the next point. Now I'd like you to select out of those 6 things only 2 or 3, it's up to you, that you can start doing tomorrow. If you go to the imaginary world where you don't need to work anymore, you don't need to pay your bills, and you can do whatever you like and start your business, which 2 or 3 things out of those 6 that you have here in the list ticked, you can select and start doing as a business. And you have 1 minute to tick them now. So I hope you did well with the exercise, and you probably ask yourself right now, why do you need to select 2 or 3 things? To have 2 or 3 things means to have 2 or 3 ideas in your mind which you can use to start the business from. And the last thing I would like you to do is to have the last minute thinking over how you can apply those 2 or 3 ideas that we narrow down to how you can apply them to the business. Think it over, what you can sell, what kind of value add, or what you can do from this idea that you can get the money. And you have 1 minute now. So under the business application, in this sense, I would mean, for example, you are doing some handmade. How can you realize your potential of doing some handmade into a business idea? So you basically can teach people how to do the same handmade like you do. That's one business idea. Or maybe write an ebook and sell it, which is a second business idea. Or maybe write a blog about that, become a famous blogger and earn money by that. This is a third business idea out of one hobby that you like to do, just some handmade. So I hope you're done with this exercise, and if you already have an overview of where to start from and you have already a couple of ideas to work on, can you please put a plus in the chat window on the YouTube, Facebook, or the Google Plus event?
Hi there, here's Elena. Let me just summarize. So I can see several pluses here, and thus we can conclude that the people have got an idea what they would like to do.
So that's perfect. I hope you found this exercise really useful, because when you are at the point where you want to start something and you really have the desire to do that, but you have no idea where to start from, this exercise is absolutely important and absolutely great point to start with. And we move ahead. Now, there are different ways to test your idea, and obviously there are different of paid ways to test that. However, we're going to concentrate on the free ways to test the idea, because I think that's one of the most interesting and important parts, because there would be a lot of things you probably have to pay for in your business. However, just starting with testing your idea, and it should be free of charge for yourselves. So I'm going to share with you a couple of them. The way number one is the surveys. The surveys could be done in different ways. One of them, so important point about the survey, what you need to do is just don't make 100,000 of questions. Make sure you have maximum of 10 so people won't be bored going through them and replying to them, instead of just ticking the boxes to get rid of this survey. If you want to have some valued feedback on that, you can create this survey using the Survey Monkey. And this is the up to 100 of questions. The recipients of your survey, it's free of charge. Or you can create this, the form using the Google Forms. And also it could be working as a survey. You can get the visual representing of the answers as well as the answers. And it could be anonymous as well. Whom to send the survey? You can send the survey to your networking. So you have probably connections on the LinkedIn, you have connections on the Facebook, you have relatives and friends. Just think on how many replies would be enough for you and efficient for you to get an understanding if this is something what you're offering to the market is going to be something people need. And go with that and select the recipients from your network. Also, networking. You can ask your friends and relatives and family, your colleagues, or maybe it's the people who used to study with you, with who you keep in touch, like-minded people. Share with them the idea that you want to start the business, share what kind of business, and they will give you the feedback as well. So try to ask for the feedback that is going to be something suitable and valuable for you, and try to make sure that it's something that you can use maybe to improve your idea, work on it, and make it better to represent again. Then, one of the quite good things to test the idea would be the Google search. Basically, what you do, you open the Google, you put the idea of what you want to implement, format it in a couple of words or just a short sentence, and see whatever Google's gonna say. Are there many people implementing the idea, or maybe you're the only one? And what I would advise you to do, and what is proven already, that you need to go for the market where there are a lot of people already involved. This means in first place that your idea is needed, and this means in first place that you have already the potential customers in the market. It's always extremely difficult to start with something new and unknown. And we're going to get to that point in one of our next webinars connected to the marketing and sales, and we're going to go into these details, into this topic in more detail. But today we are more only about the testing the idea. So the Google search, and one of the most really great ways of testing, I would say, would be the Google Trends. Could you please put the plus in the comment section to let me know if you know what Google Trends is?
Hi there, here's Elena. I'm just switching between several windows, and I can see only a few pluses, so which means that not everyone knows about Google Trends.
Okay, that's a great way to go, so to say, and I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna show you how to use the Google Trends. Could you please also let me know in the chat window right now if you would be interested in testing some specific idea, the one that you have, so I can give you an example on a specific idea. And meanwhile, I will change the screens for the browser. Elena, are there any specific replies?
Yes, for now I've got one specific reply, and this is food delivery app.
Okay, sounds great. Could you please confirm, guys, you can see my screen well?
So personally, I can see the screen well, but let me switch between several windows and take a look at what the people are saying. Yes, I can see a few pluses, so they can see the screen.
Okay, fantastic. So this is the way the Google Trends actually operate. I'm going to show you the basics, and it's pretty much user-friendly like all the products of Google. So you can see here in the browser, this is the web address, google.com/trends. And here you can search the trends all over the world, or in the specific area or in your country. Basically, trends are showing how many replies and how many searches were and how many times people were interested in some specific thing. So as the food delivery application is something that you would be interested to test, so let's put it here. And obviously, Google is trying to help you. Application, and we'll click search. So by default, you are coming to the to your local country. However, the search is done the worldwide. So as you can see, starting from 2005, there were no interest in food delivery application. There was a boom of searches in 2012, and then May, and it's going up. So this looks like a positive trend for the food delivery application. People are looking for that. You can be more specific. For example, like cooking or and you can see that something connected with cooking comparing to the food delivery application is even more is something that people are more interested in. So this is the worldwide, so to say, from 2004 till present. So here you can see past 7 days, for example, if there would be any result, obviously, the search. Only the year 2015. So here we don't see anything. Here we see in 2010 by month. You can see the categories as well. So whatever it's connected to, for example, to food and drink, nothing. Business and computers. So it looks like it's more like a general category. There was no specific specification according to the industry in that matter. Then Google Trends shows you the results according to the web search in general. Also image search, if there would be any results, some news search as well. So this food delivery app is together with the cooking application would be probably not the best thing, the best searching thing for the moment. However, it represents only the web search. However, for other categories and other search options, there might be different results, as you can imagine. So as you see here by date, here by category, here by web search or image search or news search or Google Shopping or YouTube, and here the worldwide. So you can select the country. So let's have a look, for example, in the United Kingdom. They don't have any specific information, so they have the information worldwide. Probably that's why the island has been the starting country, the starting point, disappeared. I see here another option for the search for us. It's the virtual reality games. So let's see. And here are the trends. And then you can see here also the regional interests. You see as more, so to say, results. United States, Australia, UK, and India would be the main countries that are searching for that. And what are exactly the searches made? Connected with the world's virtual online games. And the interest will be rising and rising. And you can also compare. If you have similar ideas, you kind of hesitating between two of them, like cooking app or food delivery app. You can add the term, and it will do the search as well for you, and compare on this graph the search for both. Okay, could you please put in the please put in the field of the comment if you have any specific questions to the Google Trends, or it's pretty much straightforward.
Hi there, here's Elena again. So I don't see any specific questions at the moment. If they pop up, I will let you know.
Okay, super. Now, what I would like to do is to switch to the presentation again. Can you please confirm you can see the screen well?
Yes, I can see the screen well. So let me check what the people are saying. Yes, they can also see the screen.
Okay, super. Now we move ahead. Let's summarize what we have accomplished today. So today, with the great efforts from Yelena's side, we have identified your personality and business environment type. You have explored your values. You have found a suitable idea, hopefully for your business as well. And we had tested the idea in the real time, also using We have reviewed different types of testing the idea and as well tested it in the real time using the Google Trends as one of the options. We have decided what kind of business you would like to launch finally, and I think this is the good instrument that you have learned today, and I would highly recommend you to have a look again after this webinar on the business ideas, have a look at the Google Trends, test them, make the survey, and connect with your network and find out what would be a great point to start, because with further webinars you will be able to develop your idea, expand, and at the end of this webinar session you will be able to have the startup ready to go. The resources would recommend you to use is basically come back to the Holland codes that Yelena used for the test. You can have a look at skills2fund.eu website, where you can have a list of free business ideas and lots of free resources. Have a look at the Power Your Idea blogspot.ie, and this is the blog where you can read different useful articles connected to the entrepreneurship, startup, and business purposes. And also have a look at the Google Trends and try to use them on your own. You have the gift as well. We have several spaces left for the 2 hours of video training about the Startup MBA. It's a paid course. However, for our webinar participants, we offer it for free. If you have signed up for the mailing list on our website, then you will get the link for the free video training. To get a handout from this session, as we have a handouts from every session, you need to sign up at the startupbooster.com. So we will be able to send out for you all the necessary information, as well as the webinar replay and useful handout after the session. You can also get a lot of additional information connected to the webinars and useful links that we offer. We also would like to hear some feedback from you and what you would like to learn in the next sessions. So make sure to write your wishes in the chat right now or after the webinar on our Facebook page, or send us an email to contact@startupbooster.com. We are highly recommending you to join our Facebook group, where you can be in touch with us constantly in social media and write your questions and comments. You will get all the updates, webinar links replay as well, and take part in the discussions with your fellow members and like-minded people, which we find really, really important to have the like-minded people around when you are looking to start something new, new venture in your life. So the Facebook page is www.facebook.com/startupbooster2015. And we recommend you to share the webinar replay with the people that might need it or might like it and maybe would be interested in joining our future sessions. And I would like to thank you for being with us tonight, and we're going to see you next session on Saturday, 21st of February. And for more updates, please visit our Facebook page or sign up on our website. Thank you, and have a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.